So Collin Cowherd believes that there are some red flags which will prevent the Eagles from getting back to the Super Bowl. Do you agree? Could this team slip off at all this upcoming season? We will react to all of his comments right here on the show. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Philly, your number one home for Eagles coverage. Hit the like button if you enjoy the show. Be sure to subscribe. Also, ring the bell down below. That way you don't miss any of the coverage. Today, we are back, RB, bringing you another one from the link, and we need to react and respond to some of the comments made by Collin Cowherd on FS1. They were talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. Could this team repeat in terms of going back to the Super Bowl? Could they get back to the biggest stage? It's been an interesting offseason. I would argue that the Eagles have definitely, gotten better. Like, they did not really drop off at all in many areas. And meanwhile, the media still believes that the Eagles might not be nearly the same this upcoming year. So let me know your thoughts down below. Do you agree or disagree? We will take a look at what he said. But before we do so, shout out to our sponsor of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code ATOZPA and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's get into it, man. So, one quick point that I want to highlight before we jump into the Cowherd stuff. Shout out to Eagles wide receiver Devin Allen, who ran the 110-meter hurdle on Saturday, and he ran it in 13.04 seconds. His fastest time this year, and tied for the fourth fastest in the world. Allen finished second behind Daniel Roberts, 13.01. Just wanted to give some quick recognition, right? When the Eagles signed Devin Allen, we heard about all the crazy accolades when it came to, running track. And I mean, this guy is like all world fast. Like, his speed is off the charts. And it's interesting that he came to play football. But hey, man, you send this guy on a deep route. If he can catch a football, you never know. You never know. I know he's probably a special teamers at best, but cool accolade, cool achievement. Just wanted to highlight that before we get into the business. Speaking of which, Collin Cowherd on his show talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. And here was the main quote. He says, "I know Eagle fans, you know you're getting back to the Super Bowl, but there's a lot of blinking lights here." I'm not going to play the full 5-minute clip, but essentially he made a couple main points. Number one, that, the injuries could stack up, which is fair. He says Jalen Hurts runs the ball more than almost any quarterback. And, if he's not careful, if he doesn't monitor, then yeah, he could probably sustain an injury, which he has before. But on top of that, I think he made some asinine points. And overall, I just want to step back and say for a second, yes, it is hard to get back to the Super Bowl, right? We don't really see any teams repeat that much nowadays. But even getting back there is so tough because think about it, man. Only 2 teams get to the final game. Like, it is very, very hard. You put in all this work in the offseason. You put in all this work for months. You need a little bit of luck, right? That's like a common saying. You need luck as well as talent. You definitely do. Some things have to go your way. You have to stay healthy, or, sometimes you have to play the right opponent. Whatever it may be, you have to have a little bit of luck on your side. But you also have to have a really damn good team, and the Eagles do. And, he went on and he started ranting about some of these other teams. For example, in recent history, the LA Rams, who, won the Super Bowl and then they didn't even make the playoffs. I would argue something completely different about the Rams, though, in comparison to the Eagles and all these other teams. The Philadelphia Eagles this offseason, Howie Roseman has not been content. That is the main factor here, right? Usually you see a team go to the Super Bowl and they don't make any changes. Oh, we're good enough. We are superior. Or, guys leave and we can't do anything. We're restricted. No, the Eagles still went out and got better. Yes, some of their players left and got bigger contracts, but, they were the TJ Edwards of the world. I'm not saying that TJ Edwards is not important or essential, but, they brought back Darius Slay. They brought back James Bradbury. right? They have their whole essentially wide receiver core intact. Jalen Hurts, like we could go on and on and on. And this is different, right? Like the Eagles almost got even better. They went out and had a fantastic, amazing draft. Like they brought in better pieces. They got arguably the best talent in the draft in Jalen Carter. So I don't think you can compare the Eagles to some of these other teams because they actually went out and improved their roster. They were not content. They got to the Super Bowl. They were close to winning it, probably should have won it, but they didn't, right? They lost. You have to hand it to the Chiefs. The Eagles, though, added more talent and they got better. Collin Cowherd started talking about the running back game. He says that, oh, your leading rusher left. Yeah, that's true. I'm a Miles Sanders guy, but for what he got, you could not retain that and you still added value. Look at the backs that you have in here competing. You went out and traded for DeAndre Swift for essentially nothing. That guy could probably have more production this year than Miles Sanders because of the way that the backs are utilized. It is a committee, right? Now you have a guy that can catch passes out of the backfield. You still have Gainwell, who probably played even better than Sanders in the playoffs. You have Boston Scott, little spark plug here and there. So the Eagles running back room is fine. In addition to that, he talked about the offensive line and he calls the offensive line old. Jason Kelsey's probably on his last limb, but damn it, he's still the best in the league. Lane Johnson's getting up there in age. He's still the best in the league at his position. And by the way, other than those two, let's check on the numbers. Shout out to Jimmy Smith here. He said the Eagles line is really old. Well, Jimmy Smith put the ages here on Twitter. So Tyler Steen, who they just drafted, is 23. Jurgens, second year, 23. Landon Dickerson, 24. Jordan Mailata is 26. So what are you talking about, man? Only a couple guys are up there in age. And the guys that are still up there are damn good. So I don't want to hear that. I mean, that's just a lack of research on his part. And other than that, he talked about wide receiver beef. And there was no wide receiver beef. There's no ego on this team. A.J. Brown loves being here. He is a talented number one, but at the same time, he doesn't care who the ball is going to, man. He is everything and more that the Eagles fans could have asked for. And Devontae Smith is incredible. He made that amazing catch in the Super Bowl, and they both had 1,000 yards, and they're just an incredible tandem. I think they are the best in the league, if not at least number two, because Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown will wreak havoc. Then you have Dallas Goedert. It just doesn't stop. The fact that the Eagles have all these guys in place, going forward is going to be a huge sign. And now they have more chemistry and another year to build. And I agree with Collin in the sense that it is hard to get back to that spot and you have to stay healthy, which is definitely a huge concern. The Eagles were pretty much healthy last year, but you never know from year to year. So I do agree that you have to stay healthy, and that's where the little bit of luck comes in. But damn it, this Eagles team is talented. They are solid, and nobody seems satisfied, especially starting with the leader, Jalen Hurts. He is ready to come out here, rock the world again. I mean, he talks about it day in, day out. Anytime he's on an interview, he's hungry. He is hungry to get back. Nobody on his team is satisfied. And if there is a team that I think can get back deep in the playoffs and maybe to the Super Bowl, it is the Philadelphia Eagles, because this roster is very, very talented, and they have the right guy at the helm. That was the last thing he said. Nick Sirianni, is losing his main play caller and coach in Shane Steichen. Well, guess what? Nick Sirianni knows what to do. He's a Super Bowl head coach. He got there last year, and I've been very impressed with the way he's been able to galvanize the troops. So we will see how all of it plays out. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think there is a chance that the Eagles could, have any slippage this year and drop off a little bit? Give me your thoughts down below in the comment section. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. With that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.